was a very pragmatic change. And what I mean by that is, and we found this, and this was not intentional, but by designing Reddit in such a way that we had site-wide rules, which you could think of almost as like a sort of the federal laws, right? Some very explicit. The first rule that I implemented when I came back in 2014 was banning revenge porn. That was a very obvious thing that was good for business to ban, good for business, good for society, good for the community. It was a no-brainer. You can create these sort of federal level site-wide rules, and then by deputizing community managers to manage all these independent communities, we then give them a top-level framework of things to ban or not ban, and we can use tools to help them ban that. But then each one of them gets to curate their own version of community. And if you don't like, the particular, pick your favorite sports team. If you don't like the way, let's say the Washington Commanders, that's my team. You don't like the way those moderators are running that community, you just go make another one that's called, the Better Washington Commanders Community, and so forth. And I think Twitter took a very pragmatic approach. They don't have the communities like we do, but they took the pragmatic approach of saying, look, there's objective truths. The Earth revolves around the sun. Or the Earth is a sphere, although that one's a contentious one on some parts of the internet, the flat earthers. But the vast majority of things we encounter are some shade of like, it is basically, it's very hard. It is impossible to do fact-checking at scale, let alone in real time, as Facebook was trying to do. And so in many ways, I think they were just winding back something that was a bad idea from the start because it was untenable. And it was setting expectations. We always want to under-promise, over-deliver. It was setting expectations that were impossible to meet. And so this area of gray to basically say, look, we're going to leave it up to the community to do a kind of community voting. And I think Twitter implemented it quite well, and it makes sense they're copying it. My hunch is, and Jack has recently spoken on this, the founder and creator of Twitter, I think we'll get to a place where we as users get to choose our algorithms. And because without a doubt, these platforms, we're all incentivized to have the best possible algorithm, not because of anything sinister, but because we want to keep people engaged. It drives revenue, it does all those things. But I think the next iteration of it is to actually let us choose the weights and levers of those algorithms so that we have a bit more agency and ownership. And my vision of this, I think if you were to build Reddit from scratch again tomorrow and said, Alexis, build it, figure out what you're going to do, I'd still want to have those high-level federal type rules. No revenge porn. This is not what we're about. Bad for community, bad for business, etc. It's an easy one. But then allow people, for the more nuanced, allow people to basically, imagine like with sliders, to sort of choose their level of tolerance. And AI actually does unlock this. And this was something that when we started in 2005, we never could have imagined, but today is actually quite practical. And so I'd imagine another wave of social media platforms building this way, and probably the incumbents adopting versions of it as well. But this is just the start. And I wake up every morning surprised with something new in tech. So it keeps me very busy.